Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and in this little tutorial I'm going to show you an interesting way that you can crochet with this weird looking yarn. It's King Cole Yummy, which is very much like James C. Brett Flutterby but a little thicker, and the Funny Yummy, which as you can see is very, very odd. Now I've used this yarn, I made a blanket and a scarf, and then I started to play with it and see what other things that I could do with it. So I don't have a whole skein left, I have lots and lots of offcuts, but this is kind of what it looks like. It is a King Cole, this is this yarn band, I've lost this one. It's called Yummy. Now it's 100-gram ball, and it's 100% polyester, 131 yards, 120 meters on each ball, and it's machine washable, 40 degrees. But interestingly, I can't see whether they consider this is like a super chunky to me. I can't really see that written anywhere, maybe missing it. But whereas a lot of them are like a chunky weight yarn, I feel this one is definitely more like a super chunky. So I have used where are we? Can we see? Can we focus in on that? Sorry, I went to get my glasses. It's a 6mm crochet hook, and all I did with the main white colour was make a little swatch to show you of, let's move these out of the way, of UK double crochets, which are single crochets in the US. And I thought it'd be interesting to show you how you can make this Jacob's ladder effect up your work. You could also use it to do letters. So if I wanted to, I could turn that into an R or something along those lines. Now I haven't cut my yarn because I don't want to, I want to make something with this yarn. I don't have a great deal of it left, but what I do have, I want to kind of make something with. So I just need to find my little offcut that I was working with, and I will show you how to do it. So Funny Yummy consists of lots and lots of little loops, and that's what we're going to be working with. I forgot to mention, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and hopefully you'll be informed when new videos pop up. So I kind of went a couple in, and I'm going to insert my hook into the same place on this side. And the very last loop, now this is tricky to do, I won't lie. You put your hook through there and you bring it through. So now you're working with your yarn that you're working with, ignore this, the yarn you're working with on the opposite side. So you then go up to the next space and you loop your hook into that loop. This is the tricky part because it is not tight, so it is awkward to get through because it is I don't like the way that twisted. Okay, so we'll go into the next one. Again, this loop goes around your hook. You can kind of pull that as tight as you can and get that through. There we go, it came through. Then we go up to the next. Now I found working with this that some of these loops seem to be a little tighter than others. Maybe either that or my crochet was a little tighter. But we just keep going all the way up the work, looping. Now if you find this one is just way too tight, go to the next loop, but you will have that on the reverse side. It's all right if you're not going to see your reverse side. It just looks like a line going up from the reverse side. That's all you'll see on the other side of the yarn. But you just keep bringing that up into the next one above. So I don't think it works too well with anything taller than a UK double crochet or a US single because of the spacing. But it might be if you were to use this Funny Yummy on another yarn that's thinner, because I do find James C. Brett Flutterby thinner, and that's another chenille yarn. And also you could use it on just ordinary yarn and then just make this your little feature. So we just keep going up. Make sure you don't go wonky. But, you know, as I say, you can do lettering with it if you want to go wonky. But then you just pull those through. But the trick is to hold this quite firmly in this hand, so that when it helps to put it on the loop, you can hold that tension and then you can ease it through. But you just keep going all the way up. So I did use this yarn, as I said before, but I did crochet with it rather than knit, although I guess it is what you might class as more of a knitting yarn. And I made it so that it was loopy. It was a scarf and a blanket that I made, and I wanted I wanted it to be loopy without having to make lots and lots of loops. So I used the yarn to make those loops. So what I did to finish off was just to bring my hook through, grab that loop and bring it through, and then it's in the other side. And then what I did then was, once I'd got my loop, my yarn that I was working with, I can cut this off, it doesn't matter. I can cut that one, it's only a little off cut. And then I just grab that and bring it through there. And you can then sew that in as best you can. It's hard to get through because I used a loop. But there we go, that's what I did on this side. There was no loop, so I just pulled it through. But you can secure that on the other side. I think I went one more. But I think that's quite cool. Now, all of these do look a little different, but you can then tease them to be equal. There's a little tuft. They do lose tufts, these yarns, all of the chenilles, if you're when you're working with them. You can use your hook just to make it, tease these to be kind of more open, because as you've been crocheting, you've probably pulled them a little tight, but you can open them up a bit more so that you can see the definition of the two loops, and you can make it into a Jacob's ladder. And that's quite effective. If you were doing that on something on a border, or if you were striping a blanket and then you were doing a border of this colour, I think that looked quite nice. But I just thought I'd get on and show you the little trick that I'd learned with this really bizarre looking funny yummy, which so many yarns that they market for knitters, but then, you know, what do we do with them if we're crocheting and we want to give them a try? So I thought I'd show you that one. That's one little use for it. But as I said, I used it and just worked it so that I had all the loops showing on my scarf and my blanket. I thought it was kind of made it quite an expensive one though, unfortunately, because it does use a lot of yarn doing that. But I think that's quite effective. I quite like that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, as I said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one.